Every empath faces this dilemma. We want to help others and be compassionate, but at the same time, we are afraid of being overwhelmed by other people's emotion. And if you are an empath like me, who is an introvert or a lone wolf, then this dilemma has an added layer. You prefer to be alone. And if you show too much empathy towards others, they may keep coming back to you with their problems. Not only will you feel overwhelmed, it means you have less time for yourself and less time alone to recharge yourself. In this video, I'm going to explore this dilemma in a greater detail and how you can navigate it. But first, let's understand what a lone wolf empath is, because there are distinct differences between empath, introvert, and lone wolf. They are not the same. First, empath can be either introverted or extroverted. Of course, introversion and extroversion is on a spectrum. An introverted individual can be more introverted than another introvert. However, sometimes extroverted empaths may mistype themselves as introvert because they get drained by other people's emotion very easily. And they needed this time alone to recharge themselves or protect themselves from those negative energy around them. So they may think that they are introverts. The difference is, introverts don't just use alone time as a form of protection. True introverts actually enjoy being alone. We tend to focus more on our inner world instead of the external world because our inner world energizes us. On a normal day, even when people around us are happy and joyful, introverted empaths would still prefer to spend time alone. We mostly focus on our thoughts, our ideas, or we may be daydreaming, reading a book, listening to our favorite music, watching TV, or just doing stuff on our own. Most of the time, I'm not paying much attention to what's happening around me, what's happening to other people, or to the world, or to the news. Even though we are empath and we can feel other people's emotion, it's just not our natural preference to focus externally and interact with the external world. So can you see this contradiction of someone who is both an introvert and an empath? We have this preference of going inwards, but yet we have this ability to understand people and the world around us. Introverts and lone wolf may seem similar too, but they are not the same. While introvert feels more energized being alone or having one-to-one conversation or just small group conversation with others, lone wolf love being alone because of the freedom and the independence we get from being in solitude. Most lone wolf, I believe, are introverts, but not all introverts are lone wolf. Some introverts love to have their small little groups of friends who they can hang out with on a regular basis or do activities together. They move in packs. Like my brothers, they are both introverts and they have their core groups of friends. While for me, I like to jump from groups to groups. I don't stay in a group for too long. Lone wolf usually prefer to do things alone. We eat alone, we watch movie alone, we attend seminars alone, we live alone. We are not antisocial, but there's a feeling of restriction and loss of freedom when we are in groups. Because in groups, we tend to have to compromise our own value and desire to fit the group consensus. A simple example is if you want to eat spicy food and someone in your group doesn't eat spicy stuff, another person doesn't like vegetables, another person doesn't eat Chinese food, then as a lone wolf you may think, why don't I just get my own lunch? Like, why go through all this trouble? And for a lone wolf empath, it's not that we can't compromise. Our empath ability will allow us to understand what other people needs, and most of the time we will compromise when we are in groups. But that's exactly why we don't really like to be in groups, because we feel like we have to force ourselves to do things that we don't actually like for the group. Lone wolf prefers to do things alone instead of doing things together, and this may be because of our childhood. Early in our life, we can't really trust or depend on the people around us to do things for us. So we develop this independence and self-reliance to solve problems on our own. Or we may have parents who are too invasive or too controlling. So now as adults, we prefer to have our own private space and be in control of our own life. We want the freedom to do whatever we like, anytime we like. But there's a big problem here for a lone wolf empath. On one hand, your empath ability allows you to connect with people easily and understand how they feel. You want to help others. But on the other hand, your lone wolf personality feels that others are constantly restricting your freedom, invading your space, or controlling your schedule. So on one hand, you want to connect with others deeply. You long to have this emotional intimacy with the people you care. But on the other hand, you enjoy your solitude and you find social activities kind of draining. These two desires of yours are competing with each other, and this creates a split energy. This split energy, split focus, split attention will slow down whatever you want to manifest. Watch this video I made previously to find out more. This split energy is like having a train going this way and another train going in the other way. You feel stuck and in the end, you don't go anywhere. So what do? First, we need to get rid of this mentality that we have that the glass is always greener on the other side. When you're connecting with someone, be present with them. Don't think about the things you can do later, or it would be much easier and better if I do things on my own. Don't think about how draining it is and how much alone time you need later to recharge yourself. Once you allocate and commit a certain time for others, this is the time you spend with others. Whatever you need to do later to rebalance your energy and yourself, that is for the later. Also be open that the people you connect with may provide some value and inspiration. As low mode empath, we may think that we need to do everything ourselves. We need to learn to receive help from others. The same goes when you have allocated time for yourself. Unplug yourself from technology, put your mobile phone away or in silent mode, and just be present. Don't think about other people's problem or how you're going to help them solve their problems. Being alone and being calm is actually beneficial for those people you're going to help in the future. Also, don't long for other people to accompany you or daydream about spending time with others. Just go to a quiet place and be with yourself. This is a time for yourself, so commit to it. When the train is going in this direction, you want to let go of any resistance that is opposing this direction. You don't want to have another train going in the other direction, at least for that period of time. Because when there's a lot of energy going in both directions, you're not going anywhere. No matter if you're connecting with others or being alone, you want to be happy about it, or at least accept that this is what you're doing right now. You want to find the joy of being alone and also find the joy of being with others. Second, accept that some people may never understand or get you. I know sometimes low mode empath may feel lonely, and it's not because we have too much alone time. It's because as empath, we understand other people so well, but other people don't understand us as well. We kind of expect others to do the same for us. But this expectation will only make us feel more lonely and more disconnected. So don't keep trying to explain to others, whether in person or in your head, and try to get them to understand you. If you really want them to understand how you feel, just send them this video. Don't torture yourself by keep telling yourself that no one understands you. There are always other people like empath who will understand you, but we often focus on people who don't understand us and try to get them to understand us. It doesn't matter if other people understand you or not. What truly matters is whether you understand yourself or not. If people don't understand why you switch from being compassionate and withdrawn, then they just don't understand. We are not here to get people to understand us. Self-understanding and self-discovery is for yourself. It's not for the other person. It's for us to see how we can help ourselves and make our life easier. Third, there are always ways where you can structure your social life or your work to get the best of both worlds. For example, for me, I love being an author, a blogger, and a content creator because I can share my insight and help others from a distance. I can do my work independently in my own time and set my own direction. Even if I'm a coach or a tutor, teaching people one-to-one helps to limit and filter the energy I'm allowing into my space. I can choose who I want to teach. If someone's energy doesn't work for me, I can end the assignment. So there is always a choice. Even for social life, it's okay to bounce from group to group and see whose energy you resonate with. And then maybe you can set up a one-to-one conversation with the person outside of the group. I used to envy people like my brother who have a core group of friends who he hang out with on a regular basis. But then I asked myself, is that what I truly want? And the answer is no. That's not what I want. I would actually prefer to bounce from group to group or person to person because that feeds my curiosity for understanding people. And I can have a much deeper connection with others. It's better than meeting the same people every time when we already know each other so well and we have nothing more to say or nothing important or new happening in our life. I already have such a group, which is my family, where we do things together. Do I really need another core group? Not really. Lone wolf personality doesn't like meeting others unless there's a specific purpose, like a business mastermind group or a group for specific interests and hobbies. But once the purpose is served, there's no need to continue with the regular meetups. If being a lone wolf empath makes you feel like an outsider, watch this next video over here.